there's a UNESCO AI competency framework for teachers. So it maps into that, and then there's, like, some other, like, frameworks and stuff that are, like, AI for teachers that it's kind of pulling from. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah. The 307 KSATs. These are, like, the different areas that it broke it down into. And then it's got, yeah, KSATs for all of them. Whee!
Wow.
So there's that. And then I took that and I was like, let's make it, like, make the whole thing.
What do you mean make the whole thing?
It made the whole program. And not only did it make the whole program, it made
What?
it so somebody made, like, a MMO RPG, like the multiplayer online RPG thing with Claude, and
Yeah?
they released their repo for it, and so I pulled in, like, a few ideas from that, but then, like, just had it make up, like, cool, like, background things.
You just made this?
Yeah, it made it, like, last night, and watch this.
What the f
Like, it has NPCs in each world, and then you can, like, ask it stuff. And then these are, like, the different lessons in each for this world. And then if I go in here, you have learn. Like, look, it even has, like, the, like, tooltips and stuff. I need to make this look a little bit better, but yeah, it's like this is showing, like, spot the hallucination, testing it, verifying it, any practice. Has little flip cards. So I turned it on to all of the things that we've been working on previously as well. And so it's pulling in all of that as well as, like, the information from the L&D. And then you go in here and then you prove it. So then, and then it, like, asks you some stuff. It does a recap. It gives you, like, badges and things. And then claim and
That
continue, and
is
then it turns
awesome.
green. Isn't that cool? So you have your journal up here where you see, like, what you've done in this area. And then you have your character where it shows, like, everything that you've completed in the whole world. Badges you've gotten, all that good stuff. And then you can go back to the world map. Yeah, everything is completely built out. Isn't that crazy? Like, it did everything. So the thing that I think is gonna be really cool is, so we'll have the community piece of it as well. And I can say create activities in the community for this and then just have it linked to, like, where that activity is. So I think we can have it automate all of that stuff too. So, like, the whole interaction and stuff with, like, teachers collaborating with each other and all that good stuff is, like, there. There's an evidence log as well. So everything is XAPI tracking. It shows, like, which KSATs, all that good stuff. And the cool thing about that is that makes it fundable because, like, there's all of this funding out there within, like, stuff for teachers, but they have to be able to prove that like certain things have been done and be able to measure it and all that. And so everything that happens in here is being measured automatically. Everything we've been working on, like, is pulled into this.
I'm like, look at all this cool stuff I did. I send it to you. You make a fucking game.
I like games, they're fun. But, like, it's so cool because, like, if you think about it through the lens of, like, an RPG, like, it just
It's cool if
I
you
don't
think about it through the lens of anything.
I feel like the spatial, like, awareness too as you go through it, for me, it makes things stick better. It's like you're remembering things in a different way. So, because your their interaction is, like, just more
That's
engaging.
how people, the great speakers or orators of the Middle Ages and before then,
Yeah.
they would remember their speeches on the way walking to wherever it was they were going to speak. And so then when they spoke, they wouldn't have to remember the speech. They would just have to remember where they walked.
The locations. That's so cool.
And so they would be like, I remember the tree. Oh, okay. I should be talking about this now. By the time I got to the lake, I had talked about this. By the time I crossed the old man's house that lived whatever by the troll under the bridge, I don't know what they had back then. I should be at this point. I remember talking to myself about this.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Yeah, I really do think that there's something about, like, it just jogs your memory in a different way. Like, it gives you something to connect to that's not the information itself, but that's like an anchor point that's cool. It's funny because I was part of that group, Educators in VR, for a while. And, like, we had, like, all of these, like, sessions and stuff in virtual reality where people would talk, and usually when somebody's talking, like, it goes in one ear and out the other, and, like, I don't remember anything. But for some reason with these, like, there were so many visual cues and stuff that, and it was like you could interact and things too. I remember all of those sessions so much more vividly than even things that I would go to in person, which is kind of fascinating, but it's weird. So when I was doing, like, the AI Explorers thing, that was kinda like the structure that I was looking at with, like, the aesthetics and everything. And
That
it
is great. So
yeah,
you like AI got better. So AI Explorers got better.
exactly. It's so cool. Yeah. But yeah, one thing that's interesting with this stuff is it's like when you first off, you wanna do the research. You want to really hone in on, like, what is it that we're training around, like, we want people to take away from it
There
in
should be a
there.
tab on here or a button or something that explains that. First, we found the UNESCO this and this and this, and then we pulled the KSATs from that, and then we developed this
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah,
This is how we want you to develop training. This is what we want you to learn to be able to do. Just go to the
yeah,
course, join the program. Anybody can do it.
I love that. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, so much of it you just have to imagine, like, what that end goal is. I started out saying, like, this is what I want a lesson to look like. This is what I want a module to look like. This is how I want them to interact with each world. But once it had it, it just replicates it. So it's just like saving everything in JavaScript, it looks like.
And yep, that's good.
Yeah, which makes it
Like,
yeah. So so it's creating these files for the content. So it's got that, it's got journey lesson. It's so cool though, because like it's just really easy to replace information.
Mhm.
And I mean, the neat thing is now that we have this, once we get it to a really, really good place, like we want it to be, because I still feel like there's a few like things that we can make better. I don't know. Like some of the like objects and stuff were a little weird in the thingamabob, but I'm picky.
It's broken.
What's broken? I feel like certain things in here could be better. Like this little guy and this guy are like kind of weird looking. I think the characters could be a little bit better. This stuff works well. I think the movement's pretty good. It doesn't have any physics with like objects that it has. So, I mean, we could add that in because right now you can just walk in the fireplace. You don't catch fire, which isn't very realistic. I think like having like boundaries where like you don't walk into the fireplace and stuff like that would be good.
I think you should have Easter eggs where like you can run into the fire and then just run around and catch other things on fire.
That could be fun. So there's a few tweaks that I want to make, but
Man,
and so when you
yeah.
go into a world for the first time, it's like it orients you with it from the NPC. So basically, like, why am I here?
What is non-playable character mean? The guy's telling
So,
you what's going on. That dude.
yeah,
Does he
that
talk?
model context protocol. Does he what?
Does he talk?
Yes, like if you click on him, you can ask him about different things.
No, I mean, does he say stuff like verbally?
No, not right now, but we could add that in, which would
Okay,
be
well,
really
we should
cool.
definitely add that.
Yeah. So, and I mean, if we really wanted to take it to the next level, we could connect AI with all this. So they're actually interacting with AI. It'd be kind of crazy.